I was actually born in Siberia, but when we were in Fernwald, there was a big grapevine of what was happening for people to come to the United States. And because it was the 50s, nobody who had any connection with anything communist was being let in the United States. And France had a large communist party, and of course Russia. And since I had no birth certificate, my father came home one day to Fernwald and said, "From today on, you were born in Warsaw." Didn't ask any questions, you know. That was, I mean, you didn't have to say anything, that was it. And you were never in Paris. And he made up some cockamamie affidavit. Who knew, you know, that I was born in hiding. Anybody who had half a brain would know that in Praga, which is kind of on the other side of the river, the Germans didn't destroy, in an apartment that belonged to my uncle, and it was this whole cockamamie thing. And so my citizenship papers say Warsaw. I don't think at this date I'll be deported, but so, you know, everything there was, so as far as everything, my passport, everything says Warsaw, Poland. My son Craig, who became this genealogy researcher and who, this is a really interesting story, was obsessed with going to this little village where I was born, in Siberia. I mean, he was completely obsessed. I said, "You are out of your freaking mind. What are you crazy?" I mean, he got involved with a woman who's Catholic. And the agreement was that he wouldn't marry her unless the children were raised as Jews. And he was my religious one. He went to service, he was in Cambridge, he went to Orthodox services there. He did all the Jewish genealogy. You know, he only was going to marry a Jew, and he ended up marrying a Catholic. But with this woman who hates to travel, she went with him. They flew from Washington to Beijing, and from Beijing they took the Trans-Siberian Railway, and they stopped in, you know, all these different Russian cities, and they arranged for interpreters, and they went to this town. Nuts, you know, overnight. I mean, she doesn't try, she gets nauseous in a car. I mean, I don't even know how to, but anyway, they went, and they went to this little town. And of course, there was nothing in this town that would have even remotely resembled, you know, what it was like in '43. And they were asking people, I was born in a hospital. The hospital had been torn down. There was no remnant of anything. My aunt had drawn them kind of a little map, and that was all wrong. And so they were he was very depressed. It was just, I don't know what he expected to find there. So there was a hall of records. And they thought, and of course I never had a birth certificate. So, you know, what are they going to find there? Well, lo and behold, my aunt, my father's sister, who was in Siberia with us, registered my birth. And there it was. He got a copy of a birth certificate with my name on it. They were both. He was insane. He called me at work. He was from the chandeliers. "Mom, I have your birth certificate. You never thought you had that, but there's your birth certificate." So that was pretty exciting.